so what's up with this moment where Geto starts choking himself in the Shibuya train station? Let's talk about it. So just for some context, this is shortly after Gojo is captured by the prison realm, and he clearly knows that this is not his friend. So he says, Suguru, how long are you going to let this man use you like this? And almost as if a response to Gojo's direct call to action, this hand starts choking him. So what's going on there? Well, as we can see in this panel, he says that this is a first for him. So from a man who spent hundreds of years inhabiting other bodies, this has never happened. So what's different about this moment? To me, this comes down to two things. One, the strength of Geto's will in this moment, but also the strength of his connection with Gojo for it to elicit this reaction from his body. The characters actually get to philosophizing on this very subject in this scene, where they talk about the soul and the body connection. Mahito theorizing that the soul comes before the body, but he says here the body is the soul and the soul is the body. So even though Geto is gone, his body still remains, and there is a lot of his essence just within that vessel. So in that moment, the call to action from Gojo just kind of elicited this instinctual response. As you can see, this is very similar to when Yuji first tries to suppress Sukuna after he takes over his body. In both cases, there is a very strong will combating that of the one in actual control. However, Yuji was still alive, so does that imply Geto could still be in there somewhere, and perhaps he could wrestle control of his own body back? Unfortunately, no. We know that because in this case, it was just the instinctual response of Geto's will in that moment, the part of him that remains because the soul is the body and the body is the soul. And we know this because of a response Gege gave in the JJK fanbook. He was asked how much of Geto essentially remains, and he responded, not much. It's like when a dragonfly can still move a bit after its head is ripped off. So, oof. So ultimately, I think this happened, one, just to be a kind of poignant moment for Gojo in those last moments before he gets sealed and shows just the strength of their connection once more. But also, in conjunction, these two moments I think could be set up for maybe a third similar moment later in the story. You know, we've got some precedent here that even though somebody is being suppressed or being used, that perhaps they can still elicit some control. And I'm going to leave it at that to keep this spoiler friendly for now. But, you know, I don't think it's a coincidence that this has happened more than once, and I think we could see it again. Finally, let me give a special shout out to Wilder for the sponsored video today. I didn't even know you could do this on Cash App, so this was kind of funny to see. Also, shout out to Paul, who had a question in the same vein. You brought up a great point, man. I've actually never seen anybody make that connection before, that the same arm that Akotsu tore off is the one that ends up choking him. So perhaps it was able to retain some more control due to the fact that it wasn't there when he first took over the body. Now, I think that'll just probably remain headcanon at best, because I feel like Gege gave as much of an answer as he's going to give with that dragonfly response, but I like this.